Oh, it's live on Facebook now.
Oh, is it?
Hi. Hello, everybody. I decided to do a Facebook Live with my friends Suzanne, Sherri, and Anthony. The reason why is because I wanted to show the world how we're coping with the COVID-19 outbreak. We're all doing well. We're staying healthy, and we just want to offer some tips and show everybody what they can continue to do to stay healthy. I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask everybody. Actually, the first two questions are the same for everybody, but maybe I'll start with Suzanne. Suzanne, so one of the questions I have is, what kind of foods are you eating to stay healthy during this time? And have you stocked up on certain foods?
Yeah, I think it's really important right now to try to build immunity to everything as, to make our immune systems as strong as possible. And the only way that you can do that is through food, if that's what we have. So I try to eat a lot of greens, a big green salad every day. I try to get fruits, especially pineapples and oranges for all the vitamins and minerals that they have in them. And I just try to make sure, of course, that I stick with a vegan, no oil added diet as much as possible to, that's much easier actually right now because there's no restaurants open or anything. So we're all kind of just forced on the rice and beans as it is,
Right. Now, are you having trouble finding some of the greens? In my case, I'm not having any trouble. It's almost like people aren't
the
eating
produce
healthy
section is
around me.
completely stocked. That's the only
Exactly.
section of the store that is fully stocked, strangely enough. So
exactly. I'm
that's
hearing
what I've
so many
noticed.
complaints from people they can't find the foods they want, and I have the opposite problem.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that's good for us, but I wish more people would, take this serious and start eating healthy. But then again, there'd be less food for us. But anyway,
it's true.
Sherri, I have the same question for you as well.
Yeah, so I'm drinking green smoothies. I actually drink broccoli and spinach and banana smoothies.
Wow.
And
nice.
I have also Costco has always been supplying the produce, so I'm fine on that end. Yeah.
Yeah, Costco's great.
How often are you both going to the grocery store?
I've been going
I don't actually go to the grocery store, but my husband goes. He goes about twice a week.
Okay, that's what I'm doing as well.
Yeah.
Are you doing the same, Sherri?
Well, I've been ordering from Costco, so they deliver through Instacart. So about once a week, we put in our order. Yeah, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, the problem with Instacart, I've been hearing feedback from others that I guess it's taken a while for them to get their food.
Yeah, it's about 4 to 5 days.
Yeah, so you have to plan ahead, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
So Anthony, the same question for you. What kind of foods are you eating, and are you having trouble finding the foods you eat?
No, mostly toilet paper. No, I'm just kidding.
Same for everybody.
I'm just kidding. I'm actually happy to say that we had plenty of toilet paper. I have not had to buy toilet paper in a month anyway, so we haven't had to stock up. But yeah, we've been doing a similar approach. We're pretty much sticking to our diet. When we first found out that we were going to be, distancing or isolating or quarantining or whatever we're calling this at the moment. But well, I did stock up on extra dried beans and extra grains. Like right now, we're really into farro. So I have like plenty of dry farro and plenty of dry beans, and that stuff will last us for a long time. And we also stocked up on frozen vegetables because we have a spare refrigerator in the garage, and we just filled that with frozen broccoli and frozen kale and even frozen collard greens that we had, some of those big 3 and 5 pound bags.
Right.
So that we knew we would have that in case we couldn't get fresh. Then the other thing we've been doing is we've been ordering from some places like Mama Says. We've placed a couple of orders, and we do have to plan ahead because it takes time for that to come. The deliveries aren't as fast. But
right.
They have some really great salt, oil, sugar-free meals and bundles that my family really enjoys. And now they're giving away a bonus gift with each order. So literally the gift, the order we received yesterday is a 5 pound bag of baby spinach.
Nice.
Wow.
So, I mean, we eat a lot. We're a family of 4 here. I have teenage sons. They're 13 and 15 years old. So we're going through that, but even still, half of that, I'm going to go ahead and cook it down tonight, and I'm going to freeze that as well, just to make sure that we can keep up, because we got 2 boxes of food and we got 2 free gifts. So we actually got 10 pounds of baby spinach yesterday.
Wow, nice.
Yeah,
I think that'll last for a little while.
yeah. So we have been doing, you know, some of that, and then there are a couple local restaurants that we have been going to for a long time. They know exactly how we eat, and they're incredibly accommodating and respectful to make sure that we're getting food with no oil, and we're getting good, healthy vegan stuff with a lot of vegetables. And we've been doing that maybe just about once a week, because we want to support those businesses who are still open for their curbside pickups. So
I've been doing that as well. I think that's important.
We're doing that occasionally. I mean, we're still saving money. We're not going out to eat, you know, and picking up stuff as we have been, but you know, pre all this. But we do want to just help to keep those guys going, because we really do appreciate and respect what they do for our communities, especially the ones who have been so helpful and accommodating for me and my family.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm doing that as well. You know, sometimes you know, I'll skip making a salad and just order one.
Yeah.
To my specifications, and they're all very accommodating too toward my diet.
Exactly. Yeah, it's nice when they have this. And then also the other thing I did was I went to a restaurant depot a couple of maybe a month ago, just because someone wanted to show me what they had there and look for stuff. And I bought a 24-pound box of prepared beets.
Wow.
They're like vacuum packed in these small little packs of like 4 large size beets. But I've had, because they last so long, I've had them in my garage fridge. So every day I'm having like 3 large beets also, because I love beets. My family likes beets, and
I do too. Yeah.
I also feel like they're just so healthy to have to complement, you know, the beans and the whole grains and the greens that we've been eating. So I am making sure to eat those beets every day, and because I'm just here every day, I just, you know, bring in another bag every day. But 24 pounds, you know, we still have plenty to go.
I bet.
Yeah.
So my other question, I'll start with you, Anthony, is how are things in your state? Because you're in New Jersey. We're all in the hot spot pretty much.
Yeah.
East Coast.
And you know, I live in a very rural part of New Jersey. The town that I live in just finally popped onto the map with its first case yesterday of confirmed. So, you know, New Jersey in general is, you know, is strained right now, right? I mean, there are people in the hospital. There are a lot of people who are infected. There are a lot of people who are sick, and there are people who are dying. And you know, I just read the news online, and I see all of that. But in my immediate area, and we're staying in all the time, and my father lives about 3 miles away. And the first time I've really seen him and had a conversation was after our run this morning. My wife and I we sat on his driveway, and he sat on his porch. You know, we were maybe 20 feet away, and we talked to him for a little bit. So we're taking it very seriously like that. I think most people in our area are. So I'm not really feeling that stress on the healthcare system, or that, you know, kind of that.
But you are getting out every day, right? Because I think it's important to get out, you know, keep your distance from people. But
yeah, but what we're doing is we're going out early in the morning, because, you know, it's amazing, because the hiking trails are busier than ever, you know. So actually we went out once, and I wasn't really comfortable with how everyone was approaching it. You know, like we were going all the way off the trail and around whenever we would pass another group or something, and other people weren't really doing that. So now I'm going out early in the morning and staying on the streets where I'm not, I don't have to worry. And if somebody is coming down the road the other side, we just cross over and, you know, make sure we just keep our distance.
Yeah, that's smart.
But yeah, that's what we've been doing.
And how about you, Suzanne? How's your state? You're in Virginia, right?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia, but I'm actually I own a physical therapy clinic. So we are still open actually to see post-surgical patients and patients that are in extreme pain. So I still am seeing patients on a regular basis. So my life really hasn't changed too much as a result, except of course we can't go to the gym, and we, you know, can't do stuff like that. But, you know, I'm asking the patients the standard questions, you know, when they come in, like, have you been sick? Is anybody in your house sick? And all this other thing. But it is a little nerve-wracking to go through and just treat them anyway. But I mean, that's what I do. I'm in healthcare, so that's what we do. So I mean, as far as that's concerned, I think our part of the state is not too badly infected. There are a couple hundred cases around this area, and there have been some deaths. So it is a little scary, but for the most part, I don't think the hospitals are overrun yet. You know, they're expecting that to go up in the next week or so, right? Isn't that when this is supposed to get really bad? And, you know, I'm really strict with all the patients on the hand washing and the being very careful about stuff like that. So, I mean, that's all we can really do at this point.
Checking their temperatures.
What I am checking their temperatures is grocery stores being completely full of people all the time. Every time you drive by the grocery store, there's like 700 cars in the parking lot. And I mean, that seems like if something's going to happen, that's where it's going to happen. You know? Yeah.
Well, Connecticut, we got smart here, and I'm hoping more stores follow. You know, the governor doesn't allow more than like 50 people in a store at a time, or even less now. And they're actually counting at many of the stores now how many people go in.
That's
and they have lines drawn in different areas, the direction to go in the store.
Yeah, so, around here it's still a free-for-all. In most stores it's still a free-for-all, except Costco. Costco is the only one that I can see that's actually enforcing anything. I think they let 25 people at a time in Costco, but that's the only store that's doing anything like that. The rest of the stores are just come on in, and they're not even acting, some aren't even acting like anything's going on. It's very
that's scary. Wow. How about you, Sherri? It must be very quiet in New York. I mean, I know it's busy everywhere with the hospitals, but I mean, on the streets, I'm guessing it's very quiet.
Yeah, so I live in Elmhurst, and Elmhurst is where the Elmhurst Hospital's at. We're about 5 blocks away from there. That's the hospital that they're talking about on the TV.
Yeah.
Right now in this area, we have like the largest concentration of COVID-19 cases. So I think as of March 31st, there was around 831 positive cases in this area. So we're really not going out right now. We're just pretty much staying in, ordering in, just to be safe. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So yeah,
are you hearing ambulances? You must be hearing ambulances all the time, or?
Yeah. I mean, right now it's pretty quiet, but you see it. You hear it quite a bit. Yeah. So the streets are dead. A lot of the stores are closed, and not too many people walking around. We're all trying to be safe.
Yeah. I'm sure. So I'll take the time to answer my own questions too, and then we can go around with the other questions. So my question is, what food am I eating? I'm sticking with the same diet that I had previously. When with foods I can't find, I just rely on other veggies, but it's definitely vegan, whole food, plant-based. Like Anthony, I'm ordering takeout, maybe a few times a week, which I'm doing just to keep the businesses afloat, just help them along. And just really eating clean. I think that's important to keep our immune system strong. You have to eat healthy. And I don't know how people are going to fight off illness, if they're not eating healthy. You need these nutrients. The other thing is Connecticut. I think our governor has been taking a lot of precautions, which is great. I told everybody how he's limiting the amount of people in the stores. And I do think people are taking this seriously around here. Even when I'm outside, I notice people are keeping their distance from me when I'm walking, which is great. I've been doing a lot of exercise outside. I've been running 3 or 4 days a week. I'm still hoping that the half marathon happens in June, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm kind of training for that. Yeah, I have no idea what will happen if nobody does, but anyway, so I think it's important also to get outside, and I do see people social distancing, and I'm just glad people are taking it serious, because in Connecticut, you probably heard on the news, we're right by New York, especially Fairfield County, and in that area, Fairfield County, there's 3,000 cases, and this is just from people taking the train to New York, and New York's the hotbed right now, so so people are definitely taking it serious up here. So, all right. So I don't know who wants to start with the next set of questions. Whoever wants to go first.
Well, Richard, how are you doing with your exercising? I know you went to the gym almost every day. So how are
Yes.
you doing all that?
Actually, I had to buy a set of weights the other day. I went to Walmart. I didn't want to, but I kept my distance, and Walmart is counting that people go in as well. But anyway, I did find a 30-pound weight and a couple of 10-pound weights. I never had any weights in my home for some reason, but so I'm again doing the weights. I feel like I lost a little bit of strength not doing them for 3 or 4 weeks now, whatever it's been. But I think the strength is coming back. It didn't take long. I've been running 3 or 4 times a week, improving my distance each time. My knee feels great. For those of you who didn't realize, I had a knee injury in November, and after physical therapy, it's been awesome. I can't believe how well physical therapy worked. I never have any pain now when I run or when I use the stairs. When this first started, I know it's kind of off topic, I guess, but when it started, my knee, I could barely walk down the stairs. I had to use one leg, and I don't like living like that. So I was determined to heal. I think my diet helped, my clean diet, and then the physical therapy. I gotta give shout outs to people like Suzanne, because you really are performing miracles, really, because a lot of these people, they're in pain, and just teaching people the right way to do certain stretches, it helps a lot.
Getting it done. Yeah. So how far and how far do you usually run when you're running outside? Do you have like different days, different amounts of
It
time?
depends on, I guess, depending on how I feel for the day or how much work I have to do, because I'm also working at home. Mm-hmm. And some days it's just impossible to try to find the time to run, so I'll take maybe a 10-minute break and do some running outside and then go back to work. I found that just 10 minutes of running, then it accumulates throughout the day. Taking small breaks there. Also, I wear my Apple Watch, and I highly recommend the Apple Watch to people because for the past couple of years now, this Apple Watch reminds me to stand every hour, which I love because having a desk job, I used to be 350 pounds not moving for 8 hours, and had neuropathy. This watch I'm into my work and it'll buzz, so I know it's time to get up. I'll go to the water fountain when I'm at work, and here, take the dog out or do something. But I think I highly recommend, an Apple Watch or a similar device.
Work great.
Very cool. So, hey, Anthony, didn't you start a new telehealth thing?
Yes.
Did I see that?
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
Sure. It's called plant-based telehealth. And what we're doing is using the computer, so practicing telemedicine. We have a couple of doctors now. They're licensed in a total of 24 states. So we can see patients in most of the country, and we have another, I think, 18 states coming within the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. But what we want to do is we want to basically help the public, everyone in the United States, to have easier access or have better access to people who practice to physicians who practice plant-based lifestyle medicine. And we're going to grow. We're going to add on additional physicians to cover the rest of the country and to cover the capacity. But the timing was not planned like this at all. We've been trying to get it launched since November. I've been working on this since last January, so almost a year and a half now. Wow. It was very complicated to get get everything put in place, but at least it's here now. So, and we're already, this is only the second week now. We launched just under 2 weeks ago. It'll be 2 weeks Monday, and we're seeing patients from remote areas in states who have never had an opportunity to see a doctor who knows about plant-based nutrition or
Wow.
lifestyle medicine. And, you know, some of them I have to help through the technical challenges of getting connected to the call, but I use that as an opportunity to learn a little bit about them when, you know, when I'm helping them through the process. And so I feel really, really good about it. Being able to basically just lower the barriers that prevent people from getting that kind of care. And it's just going to help, you know, people who start off on this journey, they're going to have support of a physician who knows what they're going through and knows what to expect with things like controlling medications and what's realistic and not as far as what could be achieved. So, and actually, I was gonna ask, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Anthony, have you had any patients that were afraid they had COVID-19 and were trying to heal themselves by eating this way? Or
not yet. And you know, I don't know. You know, I don't know how that would work. I mean, you know, I feel like right now, and what I would, I mean, I'm not a doctor on the platform, so just to be crystal clear, but I feel like for any kind of emergency visit or anything that's that important, we're telling people you need to go see your local doctor, you need to go to the emergency room, you know, you need to take care. So anyone who is suspecting that they have COVID-19, I mean, we would tell them to go to the emergency room or go to your local test center, like right away.
Right.
You know, that's the first and foremost thing. It's mostly, we want it to be for people who are already on this path or just starting down this path and need the medical assistance while they go, because either they've been sick or they have complications or different risk factors.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, so the website is there, plantbasedtelehealth.com. A little shameless plug. If you want to check it out, we have a lot of states and more states coming. And I was actually going to ask Suzanne, you know, for your physical therapy and for some of your patients, you know, are you seeing anyone remotely, and are you able to help people to do things where maybe you don't have to do kind of touch work on them, right? But you need to supervise them through activities. I was wondering if this is going to continue, or are you able to do that with some of your patients and clients?
You know, the weird part about that is I think that the American Physical Therapy Association has been working for years to try to get televisits covered or video conferencing covered. And then all of a sudden in like 4 days, it was all possible and billable. Even Medicare will now accept people doing that. So, I mean, it just happened like overnight. It was pretty amazing, actually. So yeah, there is a possibility, like I have the opportunity to do it, but I'm a manual therapist. I do a lot of manual therapy treatments. So it's really hard for me to, you know, it would be mostly just supervising people for their exercises and things, but it wouldn't, I do like hour-long visits where it's like 30 to 40 minutes of actual exercise and then 10 minutes of manual therapy treatments and then, you know, actual hot packs and things like that. So, I mean, that's how I do all my visits. So for me, that is a big part of the thing, is just having them actually in the clinic. But yeah, it is a nice option for someone who has like, you know, something acute, like back pain or something. That's an awesome option, really.
I can see why it'd be a good option, but for me, I agree with you. You know, an office visit for certain cases, you know, really helps a lot.
It helps a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and it's encouraging though that the insurance companies and the government, you know, the Medicare and all this stuff, like it's really, I find that, you know, I don't know, I'm kind of I look for what's going well anyway, kind of rosy colored glasses and stuff. But I mean, it's really encouraging to me that there's been that kind of response and that kind of action to really help people to get what they need and to help the practitioners to get their reimbursements during these times, because that we really do need that, and it makes sense in this crisis situations to, you know, kind of expedite those things.
It really does, because it helps a lot. It's a good option, especially for people who have back pain. Like I'm a licensed physical therapist in the state of Virginia, so it doesn't help me for any other state. Right. But yeah, I could literally see anybody by telehealth in Virginia. So that's pretty cool.
And then for patients, like, you know, I've had physical therapy before and it was tremendous help because I had some soft tissue damage in my leg. But really, my physical therapist need to see my range of motion, right? And then help me through exercise and then see where that is. So I feel like that could be done over video communication like this. And then it keeps me safe from not having to go out. And then it keeps them safe from not having to be in contact with people. And like you said, I mean, we all want to be clean anyway, but the hand washing and insisting on all of that stuff is so important when we go in person.
Yeah. Yeah. I found this big stash of hand sanitizer in my office that we just bought years ago. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's
good.
now used and used well.
Good.
Are you were wearing masks as well?
No, I don't have any masks on because there aren't any masks. If anybody knows where to find them, that'd be great. I could use
Yeah.
I think they're on Etsy right now. They're not N25 grade masks or medical grade masks, but at least as far as having a cloth mask to help with some of the aspiration or,
yeah, you get real concerned about that because, you don't want to scare people, but at the same time it is scary. And it's one of those really strange things,
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
If
So
we could find like the paper
has anybody
masks
been
for
going
everyone.
out with masks or gloves when you go to the store? Because I don't have a mask myself. And
Exactly. Yeah. You can't find them.
I'll wear plastic gloves when I go to the store now.
Mhm.
And, as far as my face, I no choice unless I wear a bandana or something. But
We're all gonna look like bandits,
Yeah.
yeah,
If it keeps us all
so
safe.
nobody else is wearing them either.
Just gotta keep us safe. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what about you, Richard? What about your coaching? Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I plan to take some classes soon. I definitely want to get into nutritional coaching. It's a passion. I know it's a passion with all of us, really. I love helping people. It's very important to get the word out. That's why I do these videos, and eventually I want to take some courses. I know Anthony's helped me with that. And I just got to get the ball rolling. Actually, now's probably a good time now that we're all working from home. But when some of my work calms down, at my job. But yeah, it's very important. I feel like it's a way to get back to the community. As people learn my story and Anthony's story, people have lost a lot of weight. It's a way to get back because it doesn't have to be a life sentence. We can be healthy. We don't have to depend on pills for the rest of our lives. And I'd like to, guide others, on how to do it.
Awesome. That's awesome. And Suzanne, I'm a huge fan of your coaching and your Facebook group. So could you tell us more about your coaching and where we can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. I have like 5 different pages. I have Skinny and Fit Vegan PT. I have the Plant-Based Physical Therapist. I have Plant Exclusive Green Leaf Inclusive. I have a whole bunch of different Facebook pages that I operate through. Plus, I also have a group on the Skinny and Fit Vegan PT called the Hot Potato Club, where people they go there to get more help with this kind of stuff if they don't feel comfortable just saying things right out on regular Facebook. So, and a lot of times it ends up with just me messaging people back and forth to help them as well. And it's a passion of mine, as you know, because there's nothing more rewarding than actually helping someone get their health back. I think all of us feel that same way. It's pretty amazing to watch. And the fact that you can do it with potatoes and bananas really is amazing.
Exactly.
That's the best part of all, Yeah. But Sherri, how, I know all of us are a little bit nervous about all this. And, as a result, what are you guys doing to kind of cope with that? I mean, a lot of times food can be a comfort in that. And this is not a good thing,
Yeah, for sure. No, that's something that I've been struggling with. Emotional eating the last 3 weeks, eating way too much, even when I'm not hungry, or eating out of boredom. So I don't know. Do you have any tips on that you want to share with us? I'm sure other people are going through that too.
I'm sure they are. And I would suggest loading up on potatoes. They're extremely filling and you can't fit but so many.
That's a great advice, yeah.
Dr. McDougall says, they're 1 calorie a gram. Potatoes, 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 and more potatoes. Cook them any way you'll get them down and eat them. And, that's really helpful. And of course, everything that has enough fiber and enough water in it, everything you eat should be something with fiber and something with water. And that'll help a lot too.
I also think if you don't have the food around as well, I think that works too. If you try not to buy the junk food.
Unfortunately, my husband, he eats not so healthy food and like granola. Well, for me, I shouldn't be eating too much granola. It's too high in calorie and oil for me.
Right.
But I reach for it, you know, as soon as I'm hungry, I get stressed out, and I'm reverting back to old habits. So I got to snap out of that.
Well, if you eat 3 bananas and 2 oranges and you still want some granola, you can have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Eat the healthy stuff first.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
But be full.
I also have a question for whoever wants to take it, because I think it's important for people out there to realize how animals cause this. I know some of my friends don't agree. Whoever wants to take the question, you know, what are your thoughts on that?
You want to tell us, Anthony?
I actually don't know too much about it. I mean, I've seen a meme that says, you know, to everyone who says one person can't change the world has never eaten an undercooked bat. You know,
Yeah,
you know, so,
this is a $10 trillion bowl of bat soup. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
You know, so honest, I just have to be honest. Like, you know, I've heard those. I've heard, but it's been at that level. Like, I haven't heard actually supported documentation that, you know, that says where this came from. Or, I mean, we can say H1N1 was the bird flu because that's what I knew it as, the bird flu. We know that there was swine flu. So, but honestly, I haven't dug in, so I don't really know what that means when people say that myself.
I've dug into it a bit just because,
good.
you know, I'm curious about stuff like that. And at first it appeared that it really did come from Wuhan, China. Like it did come from there. But right now they thought that it was from a bat or a pangolin, or maybe a combination of the two when their feces mixed together. But now they're finding that it may actually have come from a pig farm that was close by. So one of the workers at the pig farm came to the Wuhan open market there, and then somehow it all got transferred around and mixed like that, and then it started transferring from person to person. And it's just amazing to think that this happened 6 months ago in China, and now the whole world is on lockdown.
Exactly.
You know, that's the most impressive part of all.
Right.
Yeah.
If you ever think your actions don't matter, they do.
Right.
It's true.
And to me, it makes sense that it would come from an animal, because if you think about how these animals are all confined and
horrible,
sick and on antibiotics, and then we kill them, and you know, I could see why the diseases would get out there afterwards.
Well, you can't.
I know scientists, but it just makes sense that it would
happen. You know.
What's that?
You can't keep them under those hellish kind of conditions and not expect something to happen.
Exactly.
They're all crammed together up to their elbows in their own feces, drinking questionable water, and being stuffed full of antibiotics in a smaller and smaller and darker containers at younger and younger ages. It's incredible that any of them make it out of there fit enough for a plate, really.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you had a question, and we'll get your picture.
No, I'm good.
I was going to ask a question, and I was wondering if anyone started anything new while we do have this different schedules going on. And I'm not necessarily saying that anyone is less busy than they normally are. Some people are, some people aren't. But Richard, you mentioned that now this might be a good time to, you know, do the digging in and figure out your coaching program that you want to do.
Right.
And I'll just mention that I started, I mean, I'm not very flexible at all. And my hamstrings are super short. They're like miniature hamstrings for a person who's 6'4". So I started taking some virtual yoga classes, you know.
That's what I need to do. Yeah.
And, you know, and every time I take one, it makes me realize how badly I need them. So
I'm the same way. I'm
trying to fit them into my schedule, because now I can do it from home. You know, I just pop it up on the computer, and I just do it in front of the computer. And actually the teacher can see me as well. They're group classes, but they've only been like 5 or 10 people. So I get the, you know, specific instruction when I need it. And I know she's being very kind, not correcting me on every single pose. But yeah, I guess I was just wondering if anyone else is kind of using the opportunity to do something like that they've always wanted to do, or that they always knew they should be doing something like that.
Well, one thing I'm doing is I'm still working on my book, which I hope to finish soon.
Awesome.
I'm probably 3/4 done. So that's definitely a project in the works.
That's
and
exciting.
I'm planning to paint well, this room, for example, that's why it looks so bad. Yeah, I've never painted before. I mean, so it'll be a fun project to do.
Yeah,
So,
and if you're home by yourself, why not learn it, right?
But the thing is, I'm always busy with my job too. They're thinking of more and more ways to update the website about this COVID-19 thing. So it feels like my work's never done. But I do want to take time for side projects.
Yeah.
Good.
How about anybody else?
Before all this happened, I had started a group in my office, like a group. It was every other Thursday night where we had a big group of people coming to my office, and we were talking about, we would spend 10 minutes like talking about, something specific like insulin resistance or something like that. And then we would give a 2-minute timer to every single person, and we would pass it around, and everybody would talk about how they were getting in shape and losing weight and feeling great. And then this whole thing happened and kind of shut it down. So I'm wondering if it might be a good idea to just do that virtually, on something.
That's a really good idea.
Yes, that might work too.
Definitely.
And then even after their 2 minutes is up, you could just mute them.
Yeah, right.
Oh, if they go over the 2 minutes, you mean?
Once they're 2 minutes, you just click and mute. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, something like that, if it's mostly conversational based, I mean, it would be great. And it would be wonderful for those people to be able to continue getting their support that they need during these especially challenging times. Because
we had a lady in there lost 26 pounds in 2 weeks by eating, what was it? Wild rice and steamed vegetables.
Wow.
Great for her. Yeah.
It was amazing. We were having some really good progress.
Nice.
Definitely.
She's very big, so she needed to lose a lot of weight. So, but it was happening quickly. I'm sure that's
that's very impressive. 26
pounds. It is very
2 weeks.
impressive. Yeah. That's the best I've ever heard without like some kind of surgery or something. That's pretty impressive.
It is.
That's pretty impressive.
The wonderful part of that is that has to feel incredibly motivating for her. And
yeah,
really
because so much
what she's
success
doing,
so
right?
fast.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Sherri, how about you?
Sherri? You have any
new? What's that?
I've just been dabbling in writing, and my sisters and my sister and I, we've been hanging out virtually a lot more nowadays. The last 3 weeks, having a blast, writing and making crazy Snapchat videos to to add humor to our life. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
Is there a book in your future, Sherri?
I hope so. Yes.
Nice.
I'll buy it.
Awesome. Thank you. That was very nice.
Anthony, you should work on a book too with your incredible weight loss.
I know. We all have to-do lists that are very, very long, I'm sure.
Sure.
And every time I hear something, I'm like, yeah, I should be doing that, but I'm trying to stay focused right now. So
I know.
Good.
There's always so much to do.
I don't know if I can just ask one more thing. So what's everyone doing for fun? And I saw some people who post this friend in New Jersey, and they posted this silly video on Facebook and on Instagram where I don't drink alcohol, but they actually had beers taped to their garage door, and then they hit the button.
Oh, I saw that.
And it went up, and then they were drinking it underneath there. Right. That. So I'm not recommending drinking alcohol. I don't drink alcohol myself, but it was interesting to me that some people gave them some slack with all that's going on in the world that they were doing that. But I personally think it's important to still have fun and to still I still want to see people being goofy, and I still want to see people having a good time. And all I could think to write on that was, it's probably my new slogan for the time being, is stay healthy, stay safe, and have fun. And I feel like that last part kind of misses sometimes.
And that's really important with what's going on.
I agree.
Very.
Yeah.
Are you all paying attention to the news? Because I find that I turn it off every couple of days. I don't watch every day.
You do
I think it's so depressing.
We don't have TV, so we don't get to see the news, but I'm not saying I'm not exposed, because I go out, it's whatever I find or read, whether it's on my phone or things people are sharing on Facebook, or I go check
on days I'm not watching
website to see what the maps are and the stats and things like that. But yeah, we have a TV, but it, you know, we only have Netflix or Amazon, so we can watch our shows, but we don't really get like news feeds. And I'm sure there's a way to do it, but honestly, I don't even want to know. So
I don't blame you.
we've just been
I think it's
enjoying
better
that.
than not know.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all the news is about how many deaths they're predicting or how many people have already died, and there's nothing else. They don't ever talk about the
Just remember,
positive.
2,000 people died of heart disease today.
Exactly. They never say that. They never say
Yeah.
that.
Not important.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I think they're setting it up so that people don't think that they'll recover, because all they hear about is constantly the death stories. They don't hear about, and there are a lot of people recovering out there. There has to be, because there's probably 1 million people out there that have it.
I wish all of us could get a blood test to see if we've already had it and just didn't know.
I saw that you posted something about that, and I totally agree. I think that's
Because
very
then we could
important.
go back to work because it's over for us.
Right.
That would be so nice.
And the thing is, probably most of us already have it because it spreads so easily.
Well, we're the vegan no oil group. If we had it, we weren't affected. I mean,
Right.
you know, it's pretty. I haven't heard any stats on that. And has any of you do any of you actually know somebody who has this, or heard of someone that you know of that's had this?
I do. I actually know
Yeah.
someone who's whole food plant-based,
Mhm.
and he got it and was confirmed, and they believe that his wife had it as well, but although she didn't go for the test because they lived together in close
Yeah.
quarters. So, and he recovered, but he said it knocked him out for 2
Wow.
weeks, and he has been eating very strict whole food plant-based, you know, for a couple of years, and then he was getting over it. He just had a little bit of a lingering, I guess, cough or something, but his fever had been normal. His temperature had been normal for 4 days, and then he started, I think, doing some exercise again, and he said he was overexerting himself, and it came back. So
Wow.
he was sharing the message, firsthand experience. He was saying, look, you know, treat this thing seriously, like it is,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and get your rest. If you have it, get your rest, and don't overexert yourself, because, you know, anything that we do like that can, I don't know exactly how it works.
It's stress.
But so, and I know, you know, 1 or 2 other people who have gotten it as well, but I feel like his story was a powerful message to me, because I feel like you were saying, like, I feel like, you know, I want to be super careful, because my main focus, and the way I like to think about this, is I would hate to spread it to someone else if I had it.
That's how I
didn't
think too.
know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So-
that would be very, very bad.
Yeah,
think
but
the typhoid Mary walking around, you know, you just
right.
have no idea.
Exactly.
But even if if I thought I really had it, or if I was tested and positive, I would take it incredibly seriously. Like, I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't try to pretend for a minute that, you know, I don't need to follow whatever the, you know, recommended. Yeah.
And I did know somebody as well who had the virus. And interestingly, his wife never got it.
Oh, wow,
and,
that's great.
Yeah. So he thought he was better. I think he went to the hospital for a few days, and then he got out.
So
and
he
then
was
he got what's that?
He was hospitalized.
Yeah,
Okay.
twice, because then he thought he was getting better, and then he got the pneumonia pretty bad. So they put him back in. He was in ICU. She thought she was going to lose him. It got so bad, but he did recover. But it took a lot out of him.
It's scary.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How about you, Sherri? Have you met anybody in where you live?
I mean, not that I know personally. I know of people who have relatives that have actually passed away from it,
Wow.
and that have had it, but not, you know, not nobody directly that I know
Right.
that have been confirmed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I just have one more question, which I kind of give people hope out there. What do you think the world will be like? When do you think things will open up again? In my view, I'm thinking things will get better when it's summertime. I'm sure it'll still be out there, but at least maybe things will calm down. And I'm wondering what everybody else is. I know this is just an opinion. You know, none of us are scientists, but what do you think will happen?
I know the state of Virginia is closed up until June 10th. That's
Oh,
that's
wow.
what I know. I want to get my hair done very badly on June 11th.
Right.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm wearing the hat because my hair, I usually keep it so short. Now it's
Yeah, this
starting
is
to grow
probably my
out.
last good week. This is probably my last.
This is your
Yeah.
last Facebook Live, Suzanne.
They'll be like this. Anyhow, as she was.
That's funny.
I'll have the baseball cap on. I mean, I know it's serious. This is very serious and people are dying. It's not something to take lightly, but at the same time, it is going to be a little awkward because everybody has to deal with these kind of things. June 10th is supposed to be the day around here. That's what the government's saying. So we'll see.
Yeah. And you know, I just keep my fingers crossed. I don't know when, you know, I'm trying to imagine when things will feel normal again. And I feel like that's quite a bit off. But then as far as being, you know, being able to go out, like I do have one, actually a 24-hour motorcycle race that's mid-June and it hasn't been canceled yet. So, you know,
Yeah, my half marathon
if
hasn't
we
either.
get,
So
if we get to that point, but, you know, but honestly, I'm not very optimistic. Like I need certain equipment in order to do that race. And I'm not buying it, you know, just because I don't imagine that by June we're going to be back to getting into big crowds. You know, I just don't.
Might be. We have to see that curve. We have to see that curve start to come down. Like on TV, we have to see that curve begin to like top out and start to come down. And then I think that's when, and of course the blood test to see who's already had it and who's already been exposed would be awfully nice.
I hope they will do that. Are they working on something like that? Do you know?
They should. I don't know that they have, but that's what we really should do because a lot of these people, especially the ones who went to spring break and Mardi Gras and all that, they've probably already been exposed and they've probably already handled it. Their body cleared it and they can go back to work no problem. You know, that's how it is. It's just that 15 to 20% that get really, really sick with it. That is the problem, you know, and
Exactly.
a lot of them get so sick they die. So that's very serious.
I hope the scientists out there are listening to you because I think that's a great idea. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all the questions I have. I don't know if anybody else has any questions.
Well, thank you, Richard, for putting this together. This was really awesome.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it together. It's nice to see all of your faces and talk to you in real time.
Yeah.
I know, it's awesome. We should do it again.
Definitely do it again. And this time the dogs just bark through the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always a plus.
Very good.
Well, everybody have a great night.
Yeah, have a good night, everybody. Stay safe.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.